Hi everyone, I'm using the Gilded Tarot for our reading from Monday the 14th of April through to Sunday the 20th of April. And as always, take what resonates and just pop the rest to one side and just see what unfolds. I'm asking for a card for Monday, the Hierophant. For Tuesday, the Queen of Cups. Wednesday, the Ace of Pentacles. Thursday, the Tower. Friday, the Eight of Cups. And the Death card coming out for Friday. Saturday, the High Priestess. And Sunday, the Queen of Swords. And the Nine of Cups. Okay, so Monday. We are still feeling the frequency of the full moon in Libra and the downloads that we received during this full moon, this full pink moon, where Venus started to move direct, lots of Venetian beautiful energy, enfolding us in that energy of richness, of love, of feeling now that we are starting to rise, as Venus now is rising as the morning star. So she's come from being the evening star, gone into the underworld, and now she's rising up just before the sun, just before sunset, as the sky's blue, it starts to turn blue. We see Venus there shining. So we're starting to rise up from the underworld that we have all been travelling through, and finding those disowned parts of us that we haven't, that we don't love, and really infusing those disowned parts of us with love, healing those wounds that the sacred heal that Chiron was shining so brightly upon during this full moon, through the eclipses, through the equinoxes, through this full moon. We've had a lot of healing and the assistance to go through that healing, that it felt easier. Things may come to the surface, and yeah, we may take a few minutes, may take a few days, but we know it's something within us. It's nothing around us or anybody else's fault. It's something working up through within us. And so we've been shifting and creating sacred place for the Christ consciousness that is coming through. We're on Holy Week, and this is the card of the Hierophant, and we move into Taurus on Saturday. So we're busy now grounding in who we truly are, where we have dissolved those aspects of ourselves that were conditioned within us, that weren't the authentic self. We are now absorbing and bringing in the light of the Christ consciousness, the light of our, and the guidance of our higher self. So Monday starts the week in a beautiful energy of integration, of integrating the powerful light codes that have occurred over this full moon, that have gone into our organs, our nervous system, our bones, in the very marrow of our bones, bringing us into alignment with the sacredness of divine source energy, of who we truly are, being guided by our higher self, and anchoring now all this light into our earth, our earth star, into our bodies, into how we are speaking, into how we are thinking and behaviours. So we're feeling now this sacredness coming in, slowing ourselves down, taking a breath, not rushing into anything, just taking some time, knowing that our soul, our heart is guiding us. We do not need to overthink anything. We do not need to go into overprotection about anything or anyone, knowing that we are always divinely and heavenly protected. That it's our own thoughts that create havoc within us and around us. To allow this sacred energy to come in and lift our vibration into the higher realms where the communication comes really clear. Mercury is moving direct after going in retrograde. With Mercury, both Mercury and Venus travelling together through Pisces, retrograding. Last Monday, Mercury moved direct, and this Monday and Friday, Venus moved direct. So we have spent that time of going within, going deeper and deeper within. Now, as all the planets are moving direct, we have this forward momentum, but we are being led by our intuition. We are being led by our heart. We are being led by our divine connection that's very personal to each one of us. So the Hierophant, this is the card of Taurus, feeling the energy of Taurus now coming in, which is it's a earth sign. So we are grounding all the wisdom in now. We're grounding our visions. We are really anchoring our words into the reality that we wish to create. Tuesday, the Queen of Cups. Again, very intuitive. Our spiritual gifts opening up as we go within, listen to our intuition. Our intuition guides us, and it guides us perfectly. We don't have to tire ourselves out before we make a decision. We don't have to overanalyze everything. We drop into our heart. We feel our way through. Allow our senses to guide us, our emotions to guide us. If something feels tight and uncomfortable, to rest, to sit, and to dissolve any, if it's fear, dissolve the fear, ask for guidance, ask for clarity, because it's coming. This is the Queen of Cups. This is our intuition. We've done the emotional cleansing so that we can hear our guides, our guidance, our angels, our loved ones clearer. And it's from our intuition that we are starting to move now, not from what we think, not from overthinking things, over analysing a decision that just causes mental and emotional exhaustion. Coming in to our heart, being led, taking our time, being patient, knowing that everything is falling into our reality. We're weaving it with every thought, word, behaviour. We're weaving our reality. And so the Queen is asking us to listen to your intuition, be guided by your heart, bring your head and your heart into alignment. This is what Mercury and Venus has assisted us with. Wednesday we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is something new coming in, bringing in some prosperity. And Mercury moves into Aries on Wednesday. So there's a huge shift from, there's a lot of planets in Pisces and Aries, so it's the endings and the new beginnings. So Mercury moving into Aries, so we feel that movement, and as the planets are now moving forward, we feel that forward momentum. There's an increase of energy, there's an increase of clarity, and this increase of clarity and our intuition is guiding us into a time of prosperity. So this is new things coming in. Be open to new opportunities coming in and walk through them, because nothing is going to come into your life at this time that's not meant for you. So walk through any opportunities that are presented with you, and stay in that optimism, stay into the limitless potential that you are. Thursday, we have the Tower. So this is the falling away of the old, realizing that we do not have to build around us a armor ourselves against anyone or any situation. All that's tippling away now. It's dissolving in this Christ consciousness. And this is Thursday, Maundy Thursday, so this is a time of things falling away. This is coming up to the rebirth on Sunday. So the old falling away that's no longer serving us, that is rocky, that was never solid to begin with. It was built on falseness, it was built on illusion, it was built on our limit beliefs in ourselves. We are moving from that now. We are stepping onto different timelines, that these energies, these dense energies can't move with us. We're in this high frequency, this portal of the Holy Week, of the week of rebirth, of death and rebirth. So the old is falling away, and nothing of love will fall away. Only what is no longer serving us, starting to dissolve. Let it go. Stay centered. Listen to your heart. The guidance that's coming through is profound. It's coming through from the higher realms. We have it in our bones. We have it in our marrow. We are being guided by light. And we've worked hard to get here. If you look and reflect on how far we've come and what we've shifted through, and the confidence that we have gained through bringing back those disowned parts of ourselves that we shunned because we didn't feel worthy. Now we are starting to really accept who we are and know that we're all unique, which is divinely beautiful. So everything falling away now that has kept us in those limiting beliefs, that have kept us from stepping through those wonderful opportunities that have presented themselves in the past, but we may have not even noticed them. We may have thought that it was good, and then all the old doubts start to creep in and weaken us and fatigue us to the point where it's not a good idea anymore. So all those doubts now falling away, and from the instability there is a stability that's coming that can never be rocked, because that stability is who we truly are. It's the truth of who we are, and this is what's replacing what's falling away. Friday, we have the Death card and the Eight of Cups. So there is a walking away of things that really do not serve. So we have Thursday and Friday, we have these major arcanas of endings and of walking away of what we may have felt was important to us, holding on to things that really stressed us and caused us to really not enjoy our lives. Life is precious. We're here to have a happy life. So anything that's not of that now, we're not placing our attention there, because we know what we place our attention to. We are watering, we are building. So we're taking our attention away from those old beliefs that if we had security, we would feel happy. That when we feel secure in who we are, and in standing in faith and knowing that everything is always in divine order, that brings profound freedom. So there's a death of whatever held us by false illusion, and a freedom, a rebirth into freedom. And this is Good Friday, which is very profound. So stepping into a time of freedom and liberation, and allowing our hearts to open, and this energy, this Christ consciousness that's coming through now, coming through our crown, opening our hearts and letting it go out into our energy fields, into the world around us. So much intense light coming through, and we've cleansed and cleared to be able to be portals of this Christ consciousness that we're all connecting to. So there's a moving away, and there's the full moon. So it's all been, we've been activating this shift for quite some time. Its pinnacle was this full moon, where we've come into finding a equilibrium, finding harmony within ourselves. And as we find that harmony and equilibrium within ourselves, we become then in sync with the cosmos, moving through the energies with ease and really flowing. There's nothing obstructing us. All that's gone. We're not entertaining that any longer. We're allowing it to, we're moving into a new time of happiness, of prosperity, in a way that it brings enrichment in our lives. It takes the heaviness of that denseness from our mind of trying to sort through life. That we will never do that. We will never find the solutions in our head. We'll just find more of the same, of the history of our past, of what people have said to us. So now we are moving away from all that, following this energy, following this Christ consciousness that's coming through us and guiding us into the higher dimensions, into the higher frequencies. So the Queen of Swords we are receiving. This is Sunday. Oh, sorry, Saturday. We have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the mystic. So we're anchoring all this mysticism now as the seasons, the sun moves into Taurus. So we're anchoring this spirituality that we have been moving through, as Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years, has moved into Aries. So we're bringing in the mysticism into our reality, working with the magic every single day, with everything that we do, with every word that we speak, with everything that we touch. We're staying present, and the intention of what we're creating is fully in that moment. So this is the High Priestess, who is awakening within us, taking us in, allowing us to go within and feel the High Priestess. And this is a very divine energy I'm feeling on Saturday. So the energy of Mary Magdalene, especially with it being Easter time, that the divine feminine arising within us so powerfully, that she's been suppressed for lifetimes and lifetimes. Now she is standing in her light, in divine harmony with the divine masculine, not any less, not any more, in beautiful alignment. So this is connecting to the mystic, the divine feminine, whether we're female or male. We all have the divine feminine within us that's awakening us, that spiritual essence that holds so much wisdom and so much power. Whatever whatever we focus on, we are giving birth to. So we're coming through a time of rebirth. So we're rebirthing into a reality that is not of the past. It's new. We've never been in this energy before. We are anchoring this mysticism, our sacredness, our spiritual wisdom into our everyday life. And then Sunday is the Queen of Swords, bringing through those epiphanies, those activations of the rebirth, reminding us to stay focused, to keep our mind. There's an activation of the crown on the third eye on Sunday to really be aware of where we're placing our attention, what we're looking at, how it's making us feel, to realign to the higher dimensions. And you can see there she has the doves all around her and a cat. So this is a very psychic energy from the Queen of Swords in this deck, very spiritually orientated. So as we focus on what is in alignment with us in a limitless potential, and having faith in that, having trust, because if we're thinking it and speaking it but we're not actually believing it, that energy vibrates out and we keep going through the same patterns, the same things will happen, and we'll feel that we are not manifesting. So Sunday is a powerful day of rebirth, of really looking what's going on, knowing and asking anything that is not in accordance with our highest timeline to be dissolved, so that we can rebirth on Sunday into a new and prosperous time. And the Nine of Cups, so focusing on our wishes, focusing on our prayers, because this is confirmation, and these cards are all confirmation that we're all on the right path, that we are moving into our wishes being fulfilled, that is far greater than whatever we can think. It's profound, the energy that's coming in, that is coming in and activating us and lifting us into this time of our wishes being fulfilled, of really seeing evidence of our prayers being answered, because we've stayed in that place of faith. We've let go of the old that has kept hold of us and kept us into a place of contraction. We are moving now. We're moving from that place. We are expanding in a spiritual way, expanding. And through that expansion, we're connecting to the higher realms that brings in clarity, that brings in freedom and liberation. So this is a beautiful, beautiful week, and we're on a holy week. So to spend time in quiet, connecting to Christ consciousness, connecting to Mary Magdalene, Joshua, bringing that balance within and that sacredness within, but with pure joy. We are rebirthing into pure joy. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.